Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
Long before most people could read the Bible, the Word was seen, not read. Stories of faith, miracles, and prophecy were captured in ink and etched into metal, but these images often held more than just the gospel. From the 1500s through the 1800s, most of Europe was illiterate. The scriptures, locked in Latin, were accessible only to scholars and clergy. For everyone else, pictures became their Bible. Artists were the storytellers. A fisherman drawing in nets symbolized Peter's calling. A lamb carried on a shepherd's shoulders illustrated the parable of the lost sheep. These were sermons without words. One of the most important collections of biblical etchings came from Philip Medhurst, a devoted collector who, in the 18th century, gathered hundreds of engraved scenes illustrating nearly every passage of the Bible. These works preserve the artistry and theology of earlier centuries, giving us a visual record of how Scripture was imagined. Today, the David Rumsey Map Collection hosts many of these treasures, allowing us to step into the visual language of faith from long ago. But not every detail was innocent. In an age when kings, popes, and reformers clashed for power, art became a subtle weapon. Some artists slipped in political messages: a crown near a biblical king signaling loyalty to a ruler, a robe in the color of a specific religious faction, or a cityscape resembling the artist's homeland. To the common villager, these details went unnoticed, but to the informed viewer, they spoke volumes. These etchings carried faith, yes, but also persuasion. The technique was painstaking. Copper plates carved by hand, fine lines layered to create depth, light and shadow used like a language, the glow of heaven, the darkness of sin. Every mark was deliberate because once etched in metal, it could not be erased. For those who saw them, these were not decorations, they were the scriptures. People memorized the faces of prophets before they could spell their names. Entire sermons were preached simply by pointing to a single print. Generations were shaped not by reading the text, but by the way an artist told the story. Thanks to collectors like Philip Medhurst and archives like the David Rumsey Collection, we can see these images again. They are windows into a time when pictures were the Bible for the masses, when faith, politics, and art collided in a single frame. And if you look closely, you might just see the gospel and the artist's secret hidden in plain sight.